According to FMCSA Part 393, the following parts and accessories must be inspected for safe operation prior to each trip: lamps, reflective devices, and electrical wiring; brakes; glazing and window construction; fuel systems, including compressed natural gas fuel containers and liquefied petroleum gas systems; coupling devices and towing methods; miscellaneous parts and accessories, including tires, windshield wipers, and rear impact guards; emergency equipment; protection against shifting and falling cargo, including specific securement requirements by commodity type; and frames, cab and body components, wheels, steering and suspension systems.
For the purposes of this video, we're going to focus on tires. So let's take a look at the federal regulations for tires on a commercial motor vehicle.
According to FMCSA 393.75, no motor vehicle can be operated if any tire exhibits the following conditions: exposed body ply or belt material through the tread or sidewall, tread or sidewall separation, flat tire or a tire with an audible leak, or has a cut where the ply or belt material is exposed.
In most cases, a vehicle will be placed out of service if any of these conditions are present. However, there are some exceptions. For example, if a bulge on the sidewall is accompanied by a small blue triangle indicating a repair, then the vehicle can remain in service without a violation as long as the bulge does not exceed 3/8 of an inch in height.
It's also important to note that the tread on the front wheels of a bus, truck, or truck tractor must have at least 4/32 of an inch tread depth at any point on any major groove. The measurements cannot be made where tread wear indicators or stone ejectors are located. If one spot on a major groove measures less than 4/32 of an inch, then the driver can be ticketed. All other tires must have at least 2/32 of an inch tread depth in a major groove with the same restrictions regarding tread wear indicators, stone ejectors, and the number of locations.
If the tread depth is less than the limit established by 393.75, then the driver will be cited for a violation and assessed points under CSA. However, the vehicle will be placed out of service with the additional 2 points if the tread depth is below the limits set by the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance or CVSA.
CVSA is a partnership of law enforcement officials and industry leaders from the United States, Canada, and Mexico. It sets the out-of-service conditions for components on commercial motor vehicles, including tires. According to CVSA, if the tread depth on a steer tire has less than 2/32 of an inch tread depth when measured in 2 adjacent major grooves at any location on the tire, then an out-of-service violation exists and the vehicle cannot be moved until the problem is corrected. In this example, the tread depth measurements indicate that there is less than 2/32 of an inch in multiple spots on the same major groove, but the other grooves do not have any spots below 2/32. It's also important to note that the decoupler groove at the shoulder is not a major groove, so it does not apply in this instance. While this tire is in violation of 393.75, the vehicle should not be placed out of service. It's also important to note that if a tire on any other position is worn to the point where less than 1/32 of an inch tread depth is measured in any 2 adjacent grooves at 3 separate locations at least 8 inches apart around the circumference of the tire, the vehicle will be placed out of service. On the other hand, there are a number of conditions that are often misinterpreted as being in violation of 393.75 or out of service according to CVSA. For example, this tire has at least 4/32 of an inch tread depth in every major groove, but the decoupling groove has no measurable tread depth. The tire is not in violation of 393.75 or considered out of service by CVSA because the decoupling groove is not a major groove. And while this drive tire has extensive irregular wear, all of the major grooves are at least 2/32 of an inch in tread depth, Therefore, it is not illegal and can remain in service. This rule also applies to missing tread chunks. As long as the tread depth in the major grooves is within the limits established by 393.75 and the missing tread does not expose the ply material, the tire should not be sighted or placed out of service. Another condition that is often misinterpreted as illegal or out of service is weather checking. In this instance, the weather checking does not extend to the sidewall plies, so the tire can remain in service.